Hello, my name is Greta Sykes, and this is my second novel, The Defeat of Gilgamesh. It takes place in Mesopotamia about 5,000 years ago, which may seem a long time ago to you, but thinking of humanity existing on Earth for a good 50,000 years and more, and having created many works of art during that time, 5,000 years ago is not very long. So, the story of Inanna and Gilgamesh, and I shall read two short pieces to you. The journey south. Inanna gently wiggled Ninata by the shoulder, whispering, "It's time to go." Her friend didn't need much encouragement. Excitement about their forthcoming travels had kept her awake most of the night with a mixture of dreams and nightmares. Both women quickly slipped into their clothes. Their luggage was ready to be slung over their shoulders. They took hold of their bags and tiptoed outside. The night was clear and cold. They looked for Mendes, the eunuch, but could not see him anywhere. There was no time to think or wait. He would be somewhere by the city gate for sure. They made their way through the narrow walkways of Borsippa town towards the south gate, after saying a prayer to Ishtar, grandmother of Inanna and goddess, and making an offering to the goddess of travelers, Pasak. It was early morning, before sunrise in September. The spring floods had been particularly high, and more canals had to be dug quickly to allow the water to be distributed among the crops. Their intention was to keep along the river Euphrates, cross it at a convenient place by boat and wander onwards between the two rivers where the land was supposed to be rich in vegetation and beautiful. They expected to reach Uruk within a month or so, as long as they did not get lost on the way. They knew that stretches of the land between their hometown Borsippa and Uruk were treacherous, with peat bogs you could sink into and thick forests of reeds in which you could not see where you were going. Mendes was indeed waiting for them at the city gate. He smiled and offered to carry some luggage, but he was weighed down himself. The women felt uneasy to load more on him, also because they did not know him too well. This turned out to be a lucky decision. Before sunset, on their first day of journeying, without so much as uttering a word, he scampered into the reeds and was not seen again. They paid little attention to this occurrence, as a sullen silence had been disconcerting to them, but it proved fateful for their safety later. My second piece is called The Birth of Gilgamesh. Utu had probably just lived long enough to witness the birth of his grandson Gilgamesh. He was very old by the time of this surprising birth. Worn from daily work in the fields, his legs had buckled, and his hands had got stuck with stiffness. He had to be fed. His grey hair hung down to his shoulders. All his teeth had fallen out. When it was announced that Ninsumun had finally given birth to a healthy son after days in labor, Utu uttered a cry of joy so vibrant out of his old throat that it killed him. His body crumpled down on its side, a peaceful smile written on his face, and a last breath escaped his mouth. Ninsumun, although still bleeding and urged to rest, summoned her two daughters to join her in adoration of the newborn. They shivered, feeling that the boy was all their mother had longed for. Fear spread in their hearts about what the future might hold.